we present Mrs. Jiggles, The Early Years. Episode 7. Mrs. Jiggles stirs it up.
I told you not to go up the chimney, Mary. It's blocked at the top to stop the heat getting out. I'll manage. Why, you're so keen to get back to England and marry your sweetheart and settle down running your own little shop in idyllic surroundings, I can't imagine. In my day... Oh, that reminds me. I found myself in a monastery with an order of monks.
We're an alphabetical order. I'm Brother Anselm. This is Brother Absolute. Welcome. Barnabas. How do you do? Barnaby. It's Barnabas really, but they won't allow to. And Cuthbert. How you doing? It's not fair, I tell you. Be quiet, Brother Barnaby. We must all make sacrifices.
Oh, nice to meet you all, but what can I do? I'm not a monk.
Can you cook?
Oh, yes.
I'm the cook, not now, Barnaby.
Oh, I don't want to tread on no toes.
Oh, everyone treads on my toes. It's for sandals. They've been stolen. They don't want me having sandals like the rest of them. We've run out. You'll have to wait your turn. It is my turn, but you got them first. Ah, that must be because I'm Brother Barnabas, brother. It does sound right, alphabetically speaking. It's but enough, please. We need a cook. Brother Barnabas, I won't tell you again. He's a terrible cook. Well, I've got no pots. How can I cook with no pots?
Oh, well, what you do, you see, is you take 2 pans and you knock 'em together, and then you seal up the hole with gravy.
There you are, you see. She's a professional. If you call them pans, be quiet. I wish you'd take a vow of silence like Brother Dumpling.
Why's he taken a vow of silence?
We don't know. Unfortunately, he took it before we could ask him. We don't even know his name. We call him Brother Dumpling because, well, he looks like one.
He does a bit. He reminded me of my own long-lost son, Mary. Or at least he didn't then, because I hadn't had my son at that point or long-lost him. But he does now when I think back.
So, will you join us as cook, Mrs. Jiggles Wobbles?
I'm dropping the wobbles. It's just Jiggles now.
Oh, then, Miss Jiggles?
I'm going to keep the missus so.
Well, Mrs. Jiggles, don't force her if she doesn't want to.
All right.
Oh, well, fiddlesticks. Brother Barnaby. Well, I mean.
When you want peas, Mary, the best thing to do is go to a reputable pea seller. Yes, Mrs. Jiggles. I don't hold with your wild peas, though. They go all over the place. They can end up in the custard if you're not careful. Yes, Mrs. Jiggles. Peas, peas, peas. Do you sell peas now? Oh. Peas, peas. Anyone got any peas? Oh, are they hard to find then? Oh, yeah, they're ever so small. That's true. And the wrong colour. Drop 'em in the grass, you've had it. Now, if they was blue or one of them other colours... Well, I've got to find some somewhere. I've a monastery of busy monks to feed.
Oh, you won't find no peas at this time of the year. They've had 'em all.
Who have?
The people who eat peas.
Oh.
How about a potato?
Oh, have you got potatoes?
Of course I have. I'm not an idiot.
How many?
How many what?
Potatoes.
Oh, just the one. But it's a very, very large one. It's my pride and joy. I've had it for years. But I've hidden it. I've hidden it where no one will ever find it. Do you want it or not?
Well, I was really after 750 small ones that I can mash up into a pie.
Small ones? Phew, no call for small potatoes. That's why all the peas have gone. Don't you understand nothing about supply and demand? Go on, have my big one. I can go and get it for you. It's not far away. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Forget I said that.
I'm going to stick with what I know. I shall find a small potato and pea seller if it's the last thing he does.
Well, if you think you know better than me, you're welcome to try. You think people want peas and potatoes all at once, and that you know the correct quantity of large peas and small potatoes you'll need in a day? You go ahead. Yeah, take my pea pod bag and my potato bucket and do it yourself. I'm through with selling veg. Through, do you hear me?
So that's how I found myself through in the pea and potato selling game. Are you listening up there, Mary?
Yes, Mrs. Jiggles. Oh.
Good. Now, where was I? Oh, yes.
Psst.
Pardon?
You want peas?
Yes, but she said...
Don't listen to her. There's always peas if you know where to find 'em.
Oh,
In pods.
pods?
Pea pods. Pods with peas.
Oh, well, how do you get them out?
Ah, it's an old family secret.
And she taught me the pea shelling song.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
If you sing the pea shelling song, you can't go wrong, and you'll have your peas shelled before very long.
Pea pods?
Yes, in the end I had to get the peas in the pod.
There are a lot of them. How will you manage them all alone? She won't. It's impossible to manage that many pea pods alone. Perhaps we should all go down the pie and mash shop. We can't afford to keep doing that, brother. We can't afford not to. Those peas are going to take all day. Brother Barnaby. Barnabas. We can't wait all day to eat. That's enough, Brother Barnaby. I'm Barnabas. Oh, I'm
Oh, now there's no need to quarrel. We can all be in the pea and potato shelling game and make them honestly some money.
Oh, money.
Now, you may be surprised at my sudden acquisition of a sharp business acumen, Mary, but it just goes to show you should never judge a book by its cover. I judged a book with a plain grey cover once. I thought that's going to be all blank inside, but do you know what, Mary? It was. It was a diary. I'd forgotten to fill it in. So remember, Mary, there's an exception to every rule.
Yes, Mrs. Jiggles. Whee!
Oh! Unfortunately, my foolproof business strategy for filling London with large and small peas at affordable prices was to go horribly wrong. When you're podding peas, should that be peeing pods? De-peeing pods, surely. Just podding, I'd say. The first thing you have to do is check that there's a pea in the pod in the first place, or you're going to do all that work for nothing.
How to do that?
Well, Brother Cuthbert, I'll tell you. You want 2 buckets, this one here and another one. You open up your pod by slicing along here and just see if there's any peas inside.
There are.
This one's all right then. So close it back up carefully again, not to lose any, and put it in this bucket.
I'm calling that bucket A.
Then this one?
That's all right too. Bucket A?
Yes.
Oh, this is thrilling.
You keep going until you've filled up bucket A.
What if there are some without any peas in them?
Well, it's never happened, but if it does,
they go into a bucket B?
They would.
What happens when you've checked all the pea pods for peas?
Then you begin podding them.
De-podding. All right, Brother Barnaby. No, that was me. Oh, sorry, Brother Barnabas. You see, it's confusing. It would be much easier if we were both Brother Barnabas. No, it would not, Brother Barnaby, so shut up.
Now, here's one I prepared earlier.
Is that bucket C?
No, it's another bucket A.
Oh.
Eh?
What?
Oh, never mind. These pods all have peas in them, so now we can start getting them out. I'll teach you the peas shelling song. Then you can't go wrong.
When you're podding peas, you must check each pod, whether they have peas in or whether they do not. Put a pod that's full into bucket A, but if a pod is pealess, this is what you say. Empty pods in bucket B, full pods bucket A. Always check with every pea is round in every way.
We don't want square ones.
No.
Triangular or flat.
No.
Only peas that look like peas, or that's the end of that.
Yes.
I left amongst 2 at that point, and I went to have a nice cup of tea.
Whether they have peas in or whether they do not. Put a pod that's full into bucket A, but if a pod is pealess, this is what you say. Empty pods in bucket B, full pods bucket A. Always check with every P.
The work was done in twice as long as half the time, and before we knew it, we all had the peas we needed for a tasty dish of peas.
We're having nothing with them, then?
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Trouble is, my recipe book didn't have anything in it to go with peas or potatoes, except peas and potatoes. I had to put my thinking cap on.
Well, Mrs. Jiggles?
Yes, thank you. About 6:30. That's the trouble with my thinking cap. It falls down over my ears. All of a sudden, my gaze fell upon Brother Dumpling, in his brown monk's habit, and his wizened-up face, and his big egg-shaped body. The awful truth dawned on me. Can you guess what it was?
He really was a dumpling.
No, he was a potato. That girl said she did her giant potato well. Oh, she'd smuggled it in here and dressed it up as a monk so no one would be any the wiser. Oh, now, why did she do that?
She's off her head, Mrs. Jiggles.
No, because it must be valuable.
Then why didn't she sell it?
Well, who'd want to buy a potato that size?
But you said...
Don't bother yourself. Potato finance is one of the hardest aspects of fiscal policy a body has to deal with. I got a fork and went over to it.
What are you doing to Brother Dumpling?
This.
Oh! What did you do that for? 20 years I've been silent, 20 bleeding years. I only had another 5 to do, you lunatic.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a potato.
Do I look like a potato?
There's no harm done.
No harm done. If I'd kept quiet until May 1837, I'd have won £100,000 from my eccentric brother, the Earl of Underfeld.
But it's June.
June?
1838.
What?
June.
It never is.
1838.
Get away.
Now?
Yes.
Then I'm rich. I'm rich! I'm rich! I'm rich!
And if she hadn't prodded you with that fork, you'd still be silent now. Be quiet, Brother Barnaby.
He's right.
Is he? Oh.
And I shall reward you all, just as soon as I get to my eccentric brother's house.
So, things was looking up again. Then there was a knock on the door.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm Sister Assumption from the convent next door.
I didn't know there was a convent next door. I did.
We only moved in a few months ago.
She came over to borrow some pots and sandals.
You were very generous.
It's nothing. My pots? My sandals?
I thought he was in charge of the kitchen.
That's a bit of an assumption, Sister Assumption.
Well, somebody said that Brother Barnaby is in charge of the kitchen. He said that was himself, so...
He's Brother Barnabas! I'm Brother Barnaby, though I'm really Brother Barnabas, and he's pretending to be me! It's a scandal! Be quiet, Brother, Barnaby. How may we help you, sister?
Well, we wondered if you'd like some of these turnips. We've grown too many again.
Turnips? We can put them with the peas.
And after that slap-up meal, I can go and find my eccentric brother, the Earl of Underfeld.
So it was all sorted. I boiled up the peas and turnips, and the sisters came round with their pots, so we could all have a nice celebratory dinner to celebrate our good fortune. Unfortunately, them pots had been washed. Now, I don't hold with washing pots.
Could you get a ladder, Mrs. Jiggles?
Washing pots gets rid of years of flavour. Clean pots make for messy meals, and no sooner I started boiling everything up in them.
Should they be overflowing like that?
Not like that, no.
We're all going to drown. Be quiet, brother. Oh, he's right.
Before you could say Jack Roberts, we was being carried away on a tide of thick, glutinous turnip.
Not carried away again to another destination, Mrs. Jiggles?
No, Mary, if only it were that simple. The turnips and the peas had all bubbled up together and set rock hard. We were trapped in a vegetable prison.
What happened next, Mrs. Jiggles?
Are you interested in spite of yourself, Mary?
Yes.
I'm not surprised. What happened next? Well, Mary, I think you need to have a bit of a clean-up first and go and put the kettle on. Then I'll tell ya.